This week, the former Representative Cori Bush announced that she is running for Congress again. The St. Louis, Missouri native was first elected to the House in 2020. She's seeking to reclaim her first district seat from the Democratic Congressman Wesley Bell, a fellow Democrat who unseated Bush in the 2024 primaries. There were various issues at stake in that primary, but perhaps most consequential was that of support for Israel. Bush's criticism of Israel's war on Gaza and sponsoring a resolution calling for a ceasefire led to a fight with AIPAC, the pro-Israel lobbying group in Washington that's one of the top spending PACs overall and by far the largest one focused on a foreign nation. AIPAC put over $8 million toward a super PAC that ran ads supporting Bell's campaign, making the race the second most expensive in House primary history, second only to the $15 million that AIPAC put up last year to help a PAC that supported George Latimer's bid to unseat New York Congressman Jamal Bowman, another progressive squad member in Congress. As uncritical support for Israel tumbles among the Democratic base, Bush is hoping to stage a comeback. In a statement announcing her run, she wrote, in part, "We need a fighter who will lower costs, protect our communities, and make life fairer. I'll be that fighter." Cori Bush joins me now. We've had many, many conversations. It's good to see you again. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's an interesting argument. You're being a fighter, and we'll talk about your history because you are one of a sort of a very small group of people who are either trying to get into Congress or have been in Congress who come from backgrounds that don't look like most Congress people.
Right.
Your ability to be a fighter was hampered by your views on Israel and Gaza because AIPAC got in to get rid of you.
Yeah. They got in, but the issue that I have with it is because, first of all, I was fighting for all of humanity. I was saying that I want to save Israeli lives and Palestinian lives, and that wasn't good enough. I wanted to stop us from getting to where we are right now with the forced starvation, with the tens of thousands, or maybe even over 100,000, some have reported, lives lost. If there was a legislator in another country who had the opportunity to make a decision to fight for St. Louis, if there was going to be a ground invasion in my community, I would want that legislator to stand up and do something, to put it all on the line for St. Louis. So I have to do that but regardless of the border, regardless of who it is. We save all lives, not just the ones we claim to value.
Wesley Bell put out a statement in June in which he tweeted, "I've always supported Israel's right to exist and defend itself. That hasn't changed. But supporting this government's actions, allowing children to starve and firing on civilians seeking food is something I can't stand by. This isn't self-defense. It must stop," which is indicative of a trend going on in the Democratic Party and amongst Democratic electeds to moderate their views in the face of what our own eyes tell us.
Yes, but the difference is, I don't look at things just the way they are. I look at what's to come. That's the mark of a true leader. Where does this take us later, and how does that impact regular, everyday people? So I'm not one to wait on permission to have a thought, permission to feel a certain way. The other thing is, why do we want people that will one day figure it out or say, oh, this happened, now I need to fix it? No, I want to prevent harm. I want to prevent people from going through, whether it's a climate crisis, rising healthcare costs. I want to prevent bombings of humans, happening into their communities. Let's prevent that. That's the true leader. That's the true champion. That's the true fighter. Somebody right now that's willing to say, it's not about my name, my reputation, or a title. It's about the people. And if I have enough moxie, let me tell you, St. Louis deserves a leader who has the same grit, the same values, the same love for humanity. They deserve that representative to represent them, and that's who I am.
So you, way before October 7th, you were concentrated on issues around survivability for America.
Yes.
Right? Homelessness, cost of living,
yes,
health care, things like that. You've been a health care provider in your life. You've also been homeless.
Yes, I've been homeless, and it's painful. And so people who are coming from a place of lived experience, there is a different voice. There's a different level of advocacy that we bring to the table. Not saying that you can't advocate and you can't support or work on issues that you don't have personal experience in. But for those of us that do, don't sideline us. And for me, bringing that experience, I didn't push that away. I didn't, try to act like that's not who I am or where I come from. No, I put that on Front Street because there are people who are sleeping right now in St. Louis. There was a devastating tornado. It was the EF3 that rolled through St. Louis on May the 16th. People are right now still living in tents. The bricks are just all over St. Louis. It is devastating. People are looking to the federal government saying, what is FEMA doing? When is FEMA going to make a true investment into this community? Somebody has to fight for that. And that I already had a fight in that way. Back 2022, massive flooding in St. Louis, 1 in 1,000 year flooding that happened twice in a week. We were on the ground. Not only were we on the ground, we got FEMA activated early. We worked together and we did that work to help people. And now I want to do the same thing. But because I'm not in the seat, I use the resources I have. So we just took to the streets, going to help people door to door. We have to be about humanity in a way where people see our work, they feel our work, but you have to be about the work. And that's who I am. I don't have to wait on people to tell me that it's okay. And, why take the seat if you won't represent all of the people who are unhoused, people who are uninsured, people who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated? We speak loudest for those who need us the most first. But we work with the entire community. I'm about building one St. Louis for everyone.
We're going to watch this race very closely. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Cori Bush is the former Democratic Congresswoman from Missouri and current candidate for the United States Congress.